Yo, 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 yo. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Uncommon Commentators. I'm your boy, Antoine Willis. This is my main man, Garrett Brown. And you already know what we do here. We break down basketball at a world class level, all variations. Most definitely. All types of basketball from college to professional. We got the man Wiley on the ones and twos, as always, most definitely. Our world-class producer who's known for doing a lot of other shows as well. But tonight he's rocking with us, and so are you guys. So really appreciate y'all for coming around tonight, most definitely. And yeah, we have a great show. As always, before we get started, gotta ask my main man how he's doing. We were off for a week, so I didn't get to talk to him like that. So how you doing, Garrett? How has your week been so far?
Yeah, everything's been good, man. Kind of busy, but you have the summer league going on, and the off season is kind of quiet. So, all the big moves took place early in the off season. So we're just, seeing other guys on where they may end up. But, like I said, it's still quiet. But, that's the best part, to come up with other ideas to discuss, until something else happens. But it's been good, my brother.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, man. And even as you say that, we don't even got to deal in hypotheticals like that to be real because teams are already pulling triggers.
Yep.
If we can go ahead and rip the band-aid off, to be honest with you, gonna go ahead and start with the most headlining deal that did occur today. Obviously, we all know the future Hall of Famer, Damian Lillard, the nine-time All-Star. Suffered an Achilles tear while playing for the Milwaukee Bucks, and shortly after, in the offseason, they waived him and stretched his contract, and he is no longer on the team. As of right now, he is now an employed man after getting picked up by his former team of the Portland Trail Blazers on a $42 million deal over the course of 3 years. Now, even analyzing the contract, you could definitely say it's like a veteran deal. You would think they'd pay him more, seeing how he's a legend of the franchise coming back to the team. But I think with Damian, he knew himself that he might not might he does have a lot to prove coming off the Achilles tear at his age of 35 years old. And I think him signing a deal of this stature really gives them the opportunity for more wiggle room this offseason, and especially for the future because they still have to build around Scoot Henderson and Shaden Sharp and all these pieces that they do have. So um, it is cool to see him go back. I will be honest, I was not expecting it. I thought Damian wanted to end his career on a contender, but it's poetic. And it makes sense, to see him want to go back to the team that drafted him, that gave him a chance. He was there for 11 years, Damian Lillard, the former number 6 overall pick of the 2013 NBA draft. And it's really cool just to see the team they're building now. I'm really curious to see how he'll pair with Dini Avdija. This is a new team compared to when Damian was there, when they don't, the whole CJ McCollum era and stuff like that. Of course, when you had LaMarcus Aldridge as well at one point, but now he's going to be the veteran of this young team, led by Scoot Henderson, led by Dini Avdija, who I'm really high on. He had a breakout year this year for the Portland Trail Blazers, getting like 30-point triple doubles near the end of the season. He was going crazy. And Shaden Sharp as well, the 21-year-old. I think he's really, really good as well. And it's really cool to see Damian come in and really embrace this veteran role after being the star of this franchise for so long, even being the young superstar himself at one point. Does this make them better? I think so. Obviously, it all depends how he's gonna come back off the contract. Off the contract, off the injury. I'm really not sure. We've seen how devastating Achilles tears have been for other players. We saw Kevin Durant come back and play moderately good, compared to prior when he did tear his Achilles. But we saw for other players, especially guards, it has not worked out that well. So I am curious to see how he will perform. He doesn't rely on his athleticism to get to his spots, to come across his screens, off of backdoors, off ball shots, anything like that. And he's a great shot creator as well. Really needs that quick first step to try to get any hesitation going, anything like that, to really get to the rim and do what Damian does. And obviously, he's a good playmaker as well. This season, he was averaging 25 points and 7 assists a game. So, still playing at a really high level, obviously, but we'll see how it goes. But what was your take on Damian going back to Portland? Did you think it made them better? And like overall, like, what do you think their ceiling is now in these 3 years with a 35-year-old Damian Lillard?
Honestly, when I found out that Damian Lillard was going to Portland,
Mhm.
that wasn't even the first thing that came to mind. Now, just for the record, I thought that, like you said, I thought he was going to go to a contender. From what I was reading or hearing, that he may have considered going to not to Portland, but to Boston and team up with Jason Tatum. Obviously, Jason Tatum, he's out with an injury as well, Achilles
Achilles.
injury as well. So both guys are in the same boat recovering. But yeah, I thought he was going to go to a contender and try to win a championship before he calls it a career. But the reason why I say that wasn't even the first thing on my mind. The first thing that came to mind was the Milwaukee Bucks, because of the fact that, even though that you're what I'm about to say is, it seems like I'm seeing it in hindsight, which is true. But what I'm saying is that when Milwaukee traded for Dame, I immediately thought that was a championship contending team right away. It was almost a guarantee for me that they would win one with Dame and Giannis at some point. Maybe not that season when they traded him.
Mhm.
Maybe a season or later, but obviously that never happened. But the fact of the matter is this: for Milwaukee, I think that they've now. I will say for Portland, I think, just answer your question directly, I think it does make them better because Damian Lillard, he's a future Hall of Famer, of course, one of the best shooters this league has ever seen. And even still now, he can still play. Now, obviously, he won't be back anytime soon because he's still recovering from injury. But when he does come back, then yeah, I think that they could be a solid playoff team. They're not nowhere. They're not near to being a contending team, but I think that they could be a solid, playoff team. To be honest with you, I think they could, sneak up in, 7 or 8 seed somewhere in there. I don't consider them as a top 5 or top 6 seed or anything like that. I think they could sneak in somewhere in there. But I think it's good for Dame just to just go back home to the team that drafted him. He's been loyal to them for all these years, and still he's coming back to probably end his career in Portland. So I'm happy for him. But for Milwaukee, the reason why I keep saying Milwaukee is because of the fact that they just didn't come out of this situation, I guess, on a good note, if that's the correct word, because of the fact that you traded Damian Lillard to compete for a championship, and the fact of the matter is just that in a vacuum, it seems like Milwaukee, their decision making, not just with Dame, but over the past few years or whatever, it just has not been good. I don't think that they should have fired Adrian
Mhm.
Griffin. I think they were too quick to do that because they were playing very, very well when he was the head coach, and they decided to let him go and bring in Doc Rivers. Then, after they won the championship a few years back, I think that when you look at that team versus the team that they had with Dame, their defensive capabilities have dropped a little bit. They had a lot of defenders on that team, and I think that's what brought the best out of Giannis. But once those guys left, like Drew Holiday, Wesley Matthews, um, other pieces, they just haven't been able to get back into that championship mode or just get back to being a serious contender in the East. But the fact of the matter is that you traded for Damian Lillard, and Drew Holiday was part of that package, right? So just to give the full breakdown, because some people probably forgot how it all went down. So Damian Lillard went to Milwaukee because it was a 3-team trade deal. So it was with Milwaukee, Portland, and Phoenix. So, like I said, Damian Lillard went to Milwaukee. DeAndre Ayton from the Suns, Jamar Kamara from the Suns, Drew Holiday from the Bucks, a 2029 first round pick from the Bucks as well, and 2 first round pick swaps with Milwaukee in 2028 and 2030. All that went to Portland. And then for Phoenix, they acquired Grayson Allen from Milwaukee, Keon Johnson from the Blazers, Nasir Little from the Blazers, and Yusuf Nurkic from the Blazers. So
Blazers.
yeah, so the fact of the matter is that the Blazers they receive those assets in the trade. Of course, DeAndre Ayton he's with the Lakers, but you acquired Drew Holiday in that scenario. And then we all know that during that same offseason, he was traded to Boston for Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams, and I think another draft capital. But then obviously this offseason, just to fast forward,
Yep.
the Boston traded Drew Holiday to Portland for Anthony Simons, and then I think it was initially a couple of second round picks, but then it turned out to be just a player swap. So, but the fact of the matter is that Milwaukee to just to say it all in hindsight, they traded Damian Lillard literally for nothing because these past couple years, they didn't do anything to really think that okay, this team can really win. I mean, they really haven't. They still were a first team, first round exit team. They never made it back to at least the conference finals. They never really done anything. Now that's not Damian Lillard's fault, but the fact of the matter is that for Milwaukee, just to get to a bigger point, is that you waive Damian Lillard, and like you said at the beginning, they stretched his contract because he was due, I think, what 113 million
13
somewhere in
million
there.
over like 4
Yeah,
years. Mhm. He had
yeah.
like 3
So
years left.
they stretched that out. And so you did that just to sign Miles Turner. Now, I said it before, Miles Turner was a very good acquisition. I think with him and Giannis together in front court, I think that's a very solid presence there. I think that could turn out to be one of the best defensive big man duos in the league because we know Miles Turner, he's a tremendous shot blocker in his position, and we know Giannis MVP, defensive player of the year. So hey, but the fact of the matter is that the Miles Turner deal doesn't move the needle into for them to be a championship contending team. Now, even their general manager John Horst had mentioned, I think the other day, that hey, he's done the best that he could to build the best possible team around Giannis, and you know it. But the fact of the matter is that everybody knows it's just not enough. Gary Harris, I mean, cool, yeah, he's a good player, but it's not enough. Torian Prince, he can shoot the ball, he can defend. It's not enough. He's a good player too. They just signed Cole Anthony after he was waived from
The Magic.
Memphis. Yeah, from
Oh,
from
right. He
Memphis. Yeah,
was sent
so
to Memphis. Right.
yeah, so from Memphis, so solid, but there's nowhere near to being exactly. So the fact of the matter is that yes, you say that you've done the best that you could, but we all know you did not do enough to one build this team into a championship caliber franchise because Giannis made it well known that just by waiving Damian Lillard, he wasn't happy for that at all.
Mhm, mhm.
So, like I said, it's like essentially you traded Damian Lillard for nothing. He was like a 2 year rental. Then he decided to go back to Portland, go back home. So, just to say it though, I think Milwaukee they are in a very very bad predicament because, like I said, they're low on assets. Because, like I said, they traded their 2029 first round pick in the trade for Dame. They have two first round pick swaps with Milwaukee, and Antoine, you may or may have forgotten, but we also kind of control their picks
Yeah,
as well
with the
because
Pelicans.
for this season, well next year's draft in 2026. That pick is the most favorable between Milwaukee and New Orleans. I'm expecting that pick to be in our favor with New Orleans because I still think that at least for this year, Milwaukee will be a better team than New Orleans. So I think that pick will come to us, but from New Orleans. But in regards to the 2027 pick, that's the least favorable. So that's between New Orleans and Milwaukee in that pick as well. So the fact of the matter is that Milwaukee can't really do anything else to put the team in a position to win while also making Giannis satisfied. So the only way I can see Giannis staying with Milwaukee is if he's 100% loyal to the franchise, to the city, and all that. But if it's where he's locked in and serious about winning a championship, I just don't think that he's going to see that in in Milwaukee, especially when you look at other teams in the East with Atlanta, Orlando. Of course, you have the Knicks and Cleveland. There's so many teams in the East that you have to go through, and I just don't think that you're going to do that with just Giannis and Miles Turner alone. So it's just crazy how it all happens, and everybody knows it's highly ironic that Portland comes back with Damian Lillard and Drew Holiday. So it's crazy how all that turned out. But I'm just saying that for Milwaukee, it's just not looking good for them at all. I'm not trying to hint that somebody should be fired or anything like that. But I'm just saying that they just really shot themselves in the foot. Again, not just with this trade, but moves that they made in past time. I think that they got it wrong on sorts of things, but you have to hope for the best. But yeah, I'm like I said, happy for Dane that he's going back home with Portland. Going back home to a city he's very familiar with. And so yeah, so like I said, I'm happy for Dane, but for Milwaukee, yeah, I think come August or September, we may see, the biggest news we've heard in a long time, probably since Luca got traded. And that would be
Throw
Giannis potentially leaving. And
throw the
I bet
entire
money that he
front
will.
office away. Throw the whole damn front office away in
I don't
Milwaukee.
want to say it, but I mean, you heard it here first from Wiley. So
You
I'm
know
sorry.
me. I don't mind
I,
saying what needs to be said. I'll be the bad guy. Yes,
I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna say, hey, you need to
that's
lose your
okay.
job, you need to lose your job or
That's
anything like
fine.
anything like that.
That's
But
why that's why I'm
you can
here.
say it for me.
That's why I'm here. Ain't
That's
I ain't no
fine.
I ain't nobody important. Throw the whole damn front office away.
The
Because
number one
like
danger.
you just spelled out, Milwaukee did all of that to pretty much essentially gain absolutely nothing outside
Nothing,
of
nothing at all, because
and
you
and
can't
and now
really speak on anything.
you're going to have a disgruntled superstar in Giannis, and it's like, all right, what do we do next? You picked up Miles Turner, which I thought was actually a good pickup, but then you cut your nose off to spite your face by getting rid of Dame. So now what do you have? Now you need a point guard. You don't have a point guard. You essentially do not have a decent team at this point because Brook Lopez he's gone, right?
He's gone.
Yeah, he
Yes.
went to the
Yep.
Clippers.
Clippers.
Brook ugh, we'll talk about
I
that.
do want to get into that in a minute, but yeah,
Yeah, we'll discuss the Clippers,
yeah,
but yeah, you've lost Brook Lopez, who was to me was a great linchpin for that team, especially being alongside Giannis. Um, like you've lost essentially every important piece that helped you get that championship a few years ago. You got Chris Middleton. Ugh.
Yeah, man,
Sorry,
Chris
sorry,
Middleton.
sorry that you're in Washington, but hey, get your money, dog. Continue to get your money. But also Washington needs a Chris Middleton. They need a vet like Chris Middleton to help those young guys. So I don't want to completely not Chris Middleton. I mean, that was kind of that's out of his hands. It's not like he chose to go there, anyways. But also, it's Washington, so there's that. Um, but yeah, as far as Milwaukee's concerned, man, Jesus Christ, yeah, the to me the writing's on the wall. Giannis is going to want to leave, and like you said, won't be surprised. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts sitting out. Like once we get to training camp and all that, and he's sitting
Ben
out.
Simmons. Like,
Uh, we're
I could see it
yeah, man.
happening. I can
we're
see
not
it happening.
mentioning Ben Simmons on this fine podcast,
Most definitely.
but
Nah,
I mean,
but it's
shoot. At this point, I mean, if you want to continue to make the best out of a bad situation, I mean, if you want to bring in Ben Simmons, that's fine. Because the
I
fact
mean
of the matter is that
you ain't got shit
you
to lose.
waived Damon Lillard for a downgrade. I mean, that's my only thing. I mean,
Right.
no disrespect
You ain't
to
got nothing
Miles
to
Turner,
lose.
but yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying. Like, you might as
you
well
ain't got
at this point.
you ain't got nothing to lose. As far as
Yeah.
Dame, I first of all shout out to Dame for going back to Portland, pretty much where he's the place that he pretty much built, and that's not taking any way, I think, from that. And I don't want to take anything away from LaMarcus Aldridge,
Like Clyde
who
Drexler.
I I seen oh I seen something on Twitter. Actually, it was Gilbert Arenas and them boys, and they were talking. And Kenyon Martin pretty much was advocating for LaMarcus Aldridge, and good old Nick Young was talking shit. So pretty much there's it was who's better, LaMarcus Aldridge or Draymond Green. And the first thing that these motherfuckers mentioned is rings. Fuck them rings. Because LaMarcus Aldridge he was a motherfucking monster. So please let's not do this. Please let's not do this. Because if you tell me, hey, you got Draymond Green or LaMarcus Aldridge to build a team around, guess who I'm picking? It damn sure ain't Draymond Green.
Nah, I mean you're right, yo.
Hmm.
It ain't
Like,
Dray. Talk to me, Garrett.
Now, I'm not saying I would pick Draymond now. I'm in agreement with you. I'm just saying for some people, I just think that in terms of his versatility, meaning Draymond being able to rebound, to score here and there, but also facilitate. I'm just throwing that out there, just from a skill set standpoint now. But
Lamarcus
but no,
Aldridge could do.
Lamarcus Aldridge, he was something else. So
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
not opposed to
Lamarcus
anything.
Aldridge could do. He could do all of that too. That was the thing for me. I'm like, they were talking as if Lamarcus Aldridge wasn't that dude before
Yeah,
Dame showed up.
he
Like he was a tough. Like you, if you
that
talk
mid
around the league,
range that was always
yes,
automatic.
yes,
That was
that
always automatic.
dog. He was one of those. He was one of those ones that you did not want to face. Don't matter who you were. Lamarcus Aldridge was going to give you trouble. Now back back to Dame. I a piece of me a piece of me doesn't necessarily understand, but a piece of me does because he's going back home where he's comfortable. I know Portland was more than glad to give him that contract for him to come back. Um, he gets to help. Hell, he might just help save Chauncey Billups because woof, I'm to be honest, I'm very glad that Portland, the front office at Portland, is allowing Chauncey to legit go through his contract and try and figure out this team and coach the team that he wants to coach, and the GM helps him get the team that he thinks that he can win with. Excuse me. Right now it's just not looking as good at the moment, but Dame comes back. Like we know we have an idea of what we're getting from Dame. With him coming back from injury, different story. But you got Drew Holiday there. That's the good part. They got vets that are able to guide these the younger cats. So that's good. It's crazy that Anthony Simons isn't there, but uh but I think that it depends on what they do going into next season, like what moves they make, who they draft type.
mhm.
I'm not even necessarily looking at this season because I have no clue what this team is going to be. But going into next season, Dame comes back, and now we get to see what moves that hopefully they make moves prior to, and then going into next off season, which it should be some heavy hitters in free agency. We'll see what happens. So, but shout out to Dame for going back. Hey, he went back home. So I now, and I honestly think this is his form of preparing to retire.
Oh
Again,
yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah.
that's just me.
Mhm.
hell
He
yeah.
he's back. He's close to home. Well, Portland is another home for him, but of course he Oakland guy, so
Oakland.
he's close to home. So he doesn't have to worry. I think that I also think that played a major role in him signing to Portland. Like he wants to be back home. He wants to be somewhere where he's comfortable. And I think we may see a different Dame Lillard once he comes back from comes back from injury.
And when it comes to Milwaukee, of course, we're going to move on to Bradley Beal in just a second. I just wanted to end on Milwaukee because y'all can just shoot this answer straight on. Does Giannis leave in the middle of the season? Like, does he even? I get it. Like, they're going to try to keep him for the rest of free agency. But if they end up having like a negative record, Doc Rivers is the coach. They don't have that good of a roster.
Jesus Christ.
Their second best player. I mean,
Oof.
shit. Like,
I really don't see.
I mean, Miles Turner, you could say is like you could say is their second best player, maybe. So, and now they're back to being a one superstar franchise with that kind of team. So, do you think Giannis leaves in the middle of this season?
I
Yep.
really don't see how. I really don't see how he will wait till till the trade deadline. Honestly, because I'm not saying that that scenario is not possible. I mean, sure, yeah, he could wait and see how it all, turns out, and then go from there to see if he wants to continue. But it's just that it's not really just the roster. I mean, yes, the roster is a big part of that because I mean, the fact of the matter is that you lost key players,
Yep.
in the past. I mean, you know, Drew Holiday gone, Brook Lopez gone. Middleton gone. These are
Gone.
players that were
Like you
part of
lost your
that
core.
championship. Exactly. But it's not like it didn't happen all at one time. But as years gone by, it's just like sprinkles. Like, okay, this guy goes, then next year, 2 years, then this guy goes and this guy goes. And other key pieces too, like Wesley Matthews and you
Hmm.
know, other guys. So the fact of the matter is just like the team was slowly falling apart, ever since they won, that championship. And the fact of the matter is that, and yes, we get it that changes happen, but the fact of the matter is that you didn't really recover from those losses. You didn't make the team better, the way that you were expected to from your superstar. And the fact of the matter is that decision that you did make, it just made you worse. Because like I said, I think they gave up on Adrian Griffin when they hired him as head coach. I think they gave up
Yep.
on him too early. You got, you fired him, then you bring back Doc Rivers, who I don't trust. Not, nowadays I just
We've
don't.
seen his track record.
We know his track record is, yes, he won a championship, over a decade ago or whatever,
Right.
but still, that doesn't really, solidify, my thing with Doc Rivers. So you have that, then like I said, you made other moves that, put you in a predicament because like I said, you're low on assets. So it's not like where you can put like a good package together to go get another player to play with with Giannis. You had that opportunity with Dame. But the fact of the matter
Yep.
is that you only had Dame for 2 years and then you waived him just to sign Miles Turner, which I said good acquisition, but he's not better than Dame, and nor does he move, the needle. So just like what else is there to prove or show that you're serious about winning a championship?
Right.
So, like I said, for me, Giannis, it could all be that hey, he's that loyal to Milwaukee. He's been there throughout his entire career. Hey, that may be enough for him to stay, or at least through the trade deadline. But for me, I would say time for me to go. Do whatever y'all got to do to get me out of here. I don't think there's anything left. They don't have anything in the tank.
Nope.
Okay, word. All right, bet. Yeah, let's moving on to another acquisition of free agency, one of the biggest ones, if not the biggest, depending on how you ask. Bradley Beal has finally departed from the Phoenix Suns. It was a bad Bradley was there, I think, just 1 year. And like, man, it was a terrible situation. Obviously, Phoenix knew what they were doing when they
I think he was
sacrificed
there for
for
2 years.
2 years.
Two
Okay,
years.
gotcha.
Yeah, like 2 years. Yeah,
Really? Okay, understood. It was
yeah.
longer than I thought for certain. I guess the era was just that forgettable, I guess you could say. But obviously, it wasn't the best for Bradley Beal. A former 30-point per game scorer, the three-time All Star. Um, he's going to LA. And in my opinion, because I know Wiley is really skeptical of the Clippers, I think that team on paper is pretty solid. You look at the starting five. You got James Harden, you got Bradley Beal, you got Kawhi Leonard, of course, if he's healthy. You got John Collins, the newly added John Collins as well. who's been playing great, had a resurgence in Utah after some down years in Atlanta because his messed up finger and stuff like that. And yeah, man, the fifth is Ivica Zubac, who's fresh off averaging 17 points and 13 rebounds a game. So it's a pretty good team on paper. Of course, they got Chris Dunn on the bench, Nicholas Batum, who I'm pretty sure they signed to an extension as well. So I mean, even at even at his late age,
Ultimate check getter.
most definitely. See, he keeps the job, like I said. So, how do y'all feel about these no look Clippers team? They've been really aggressive this offseason. Steve Ballmer has spent that money, and I think Bradley's gonna fit in right with James Harden. James Harden has really relegated himself to a point guard role the last few years. We saw him lead the league in assists back in 2023. So I am excited to see how Bradley Beal does look in the situation. But Wiley, I want your opinion first because I know you're not really the
Yeah,
highest
because
on
his
the
face is written all over it. He waiting for this.
Of course, he's licking his chops. How do you feel about the Clippers? Does this not trade, but does this acquisition make them better? And what's their ceiling? How many games does this starting five win if healthy? Let's go. If healthy, how many games does this team win?
Uh, this is going to look like your average, your standard Clippers team. They're going to win games. They're going to win games.
Average, damn,
They.
bro.
When I say average, I mean so. So let me clarify that. When I say average, your average Clippers team, I mean like the recent Clippers teams that we've seen where they win a good amount of games, they make it to the playoffs, and that's the long and the short of it. Like I do not think. Well, first of all, I'm not unless you're going to have James Harden run point, which we know he can. We know he can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big proponent of James Harden running the point. Although we've seen him do it, we know he can do it. But to me, I would not be having him run point. Damn sure not having Bradley Beal run point because we saw essentially. Well, no,
I think
they
James
tried to
can run
make
the point, man. I think James could be a pretty good point guard, man.
who?
James Harden. I don't
Oh no
think.
no no no! I'm not talking about James Harden. Yeah. I'm just saying, like for me, I personally, I don't like him at the point guard position. No, he can. We've seen him do it. We've
Mhm.
seen him do it, and I think that's one of the underrated attributes of James Harden is his ability to pass the ball, like distribute the ball. Um, it's going to be a lot. That's the thing. Like you're going to add because this is going to be remnants of him in Houston when they asked him to do that. And we saw what happened. Like after a while, it gets daunting on him because you're going to end up asking him to do a lot unless that the what's the word I'm looking for responsibility unless that responsibility pushes over to Kawhi. Kawhi, another big question: how many games are we getting out of Kawhi? Um, like I said, as far as when it comes to Bradley Beal, I mean, good for the Clippers. I mean, I'm not moved by it. I'm not moved by it,
I can
and
tell.
it's just on the strength of we know the type of player that Bradley Beal. Like Bradley Beal's a scorer. Like he needs the ball.
Do you think do you think he's one of those players that just doesn't add anything to a team? Some people feel like that's like a Cam Whitmore and stuff like that. Do you think he just offers
I
like just
mean,
dead points, just dead points?
I don't know because of the teams that he's been. Like he was in Washington, and we know why. Again, I I hate to do this to Washington, but again, Washington has not won 50 games in my lifetime.
The last
And
time they won like 49 games the year because I remember Paul Pierce kept hitting them crazy ass shots against the Hawks in the playoffs.
again, the
It was
Wizards
all
have
Yeah.
not
series.
won and we saw how that worked out. But
Mm-hmm.
again, the Wizards have
Mm-hmm.
not won 50 games in my lifetime. I am 43 years old. And we saw what it looked like We saw what it looked like with him and John Wall. We saw what it looked like after John Wall left. Like we know he can put the ball in the basket, but like you said, it can he play winning basketball? And that's the part that we do not know. And that's no shade to Bradley Beal. Like I hell, watch this dude throughout college. So again, I know what he's capable of. It's just the fact that since he's been in the league, it has not it has not panned out to what we consider winning basketball, and that's getting to the playoff. Like get not only getting to the playoffs, but getting far into the playoffs and possibly to the finals. We haven't seen that. So that's why I'm like I'm not necessarily like again, just like the fucking Cavs, y'all. The Clippers gonna have to prove it to me, but also you're the fucking Clippers. Y'all ain't won shit in my lifetime. So again, y'all have had great teams. Y'all have made it to the playoffs, and again, y'all come up short every time. So until y'all have just as much stench on y'all as now the Phoenix Suns, as the Wizards, and any other damn team that has not done shit in in the past 5 to 10 years. Like again, y'all are the Clippers. Y'all need to. It's something at this point. Y'all got to prove it. Anybody could look good on paper, but what 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 can you do when the rubber meets the road, especially once you get in the playoffs? And that's where we're going to turn. We're really going to turn to James Harden because we've seen his track record, and for Bradley Bill, we haven't seen you don't necessarily have a track record yet, playoff wise. So
It's a good point. It's a great
the
point.
only person that has a decent playoff record is fucking Kawhi, 2-time champ. So
Two times final MVP.
right.
Both
So,
times.
but again, again that a lot of that is going to be based on health. Like you said, healthy, they're going to win games. They're going. I believe they're going to win a shit ton of games. I really do think that. But again, the move for me doesn't move any type of needle for me because what type of is it going to be winning basketball adding Bradley Beal? That's it.
Garrett.
Well, I will say when they signed Bradley Bill, I think the Clippers they had a very solid offseason. And I think that they could possibly, maybe, they could possibly be a sleeper team where they could make a little bit more noise because I do like the acquisition of John Collins, a guy who is a live threat, who is um, a
But
bigger player
hold
who
on,
can.
before you continue, I will never forgive John Collins in that dunk contest.
Oh yeah,
I will
I
never.
know, I know, I know,
You
I
will
know
pay.
that was,
You will pay for
I
your
know
crimes,
that was
sir.
bad. I
You
know
will
that
pay
was
for your
bad.
crimes.
Yeah, I know that was bad. But even still, he's still a live threat, a guy that can score
Yeah,
inside, get your rebounds, and play defense. I think that was a good get. Also, he had a bigger body, and Brook Lopez. We all know what he's capable of doing, stretching the floor, and
no,
even with his
he's a three
size.
point shooter.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, with that, and then also, with his size, in the paint, he can cause issues. So they got a lot bigger, with Lopez and Zubac, and then you had Collins in.
Mhm.
Um, but I think overall, like I said, I don't think, and like I said, I think they are a sleeper team because you don't know really what to expect. Because if this team is fully healthy, if you're including Kawhi Leonard, I mean, hey, that's a team that can make some noise. But we know Kawhi with his injury history, he's never going to be 100% healthy ever again. A guy that's not going to play 80 or 90% of the season. That's just not going to happen. But I just think that the moves that they made has been pretty solid. So we can see where it goes from there. So, but with Bradley Bill, I think the only issue that I have and I totally understand where Wiley's coming from because even though that James Harden, he's capable of, playing the point guard position, getting guys involved because he can pass, facilitate, and he can score on his own as well. He's one of the top shooting guards, this league has ever seen. But I'm also about putting players in positions, to their strengths. So it's where, okay, we know James Harden, he can facilitate, but we all know that he's, also like Bradley Bill, where he needs the ball in his hands in order for him to, play to his strengths because James Harden has always been a scorer throughout his entire career. He'll give you, during his days in Houston, he was a guy that was giving you 6, 7 or 8 assists, but then he's giving you like 25 plus points per game. I know he was giving more than that, but
Mhm.
I'm just saying that was the kind of player that he was. But you can say the same thing for Bradley Bill, a guy that will give you 25 plus points and a few assists. So I think it just I think it can work. It's just where you're just not really going to expect James Harden to be score the ball a lot, but you can certainly see where his assist numbers are going to go up. So I think that's how it's going to play out. But like I said, I think the Clippers they made some good moves. So I think overall, honestly, I think the best move that they made was bringing in Brook Lopez. Again, it's just when you add more size and more defense to your team, I think it just causes more problems. Now, I'm not expecting him and Zubac to play minutes together because I don't see how that would work. But I'm just saying that they just have multiple players that can cause you problems. It's kind of the same thing with Houston, right? They have Sengun, and they resided Steven Adams, and then they brought back Clint Capella. So it's where in different scenarios or different lineups or different schemes, they have players available, for that. So it's kind of like the same thing with, the Clippers. You have Zubac, you have Collins, you have Brook Lopez. They can come at you in different ways. So just having that versatility is basically all I'm saying. But no, I don't think they're going to be a championship contending team that's going to, win a championship. I think with the moves that they make, you expect them, to at least get out of the first round. I think that's what you would expect. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But like I said, it was a solid move. I know we'll get into it later, but I think they could possibly be a top 5 seed in the West. That's where I have them at.
Okay. Yeah, man. Last thing I will say on free agency, in terms of the big signings and trades, of course, we saw Devin Booker double down and sign a 2-year extension with the Phoenix Suns.
He don't care
He's a
about winning.
he's a really, really, really rich man.
He don't care about
very,
winning.
very rich
Yeah.
man. After signing that deal, it extends his deal back to 5 years. So just signed a two
But
year extension. They didn't want any doubt to creep into his mind about where he wanted to go. And yeah,
legend
Wiley,
at the
have
bank.
to.
Legend at the bank. That's the long and the short of it. Legend at the bank. Because Phoenix ain't winning shit.
For
I
sure.
mean, like, even as of right now, Devin Booker's a 4-time All Star at 28 years old. Continues to average over 20 points a game. He's really
But
stepped into a point guard role as of late, especially when Bradley Beal was with the in the backcourt.
take him out the point guard role. That's not his role. That's not his role. Put him back at shooting guard. They That was my whole issue when they started constructing that team. Why go get Bradley Beal when you needed a
Yeah,
fucking point guard?
even to this day, that still didn't make any
You
sense.
needed a point guard, and getting Tyus was great, but again, you did that after you got Bradley Beal when you should have been headhunting for a above average point guard to go alongside of KD and Devin Booker. Take Booker out that point guard position, put him back where he belongs, so that way somebody can facilitate to him instead of him trying to facilitate.
Maybe they should sign
Mhm.
Chris Paul again.
Maybe. Hold up.
Why not?
He a free agent?
Hmm.
Yeah, he
Yep.
he has
Fuck
not
it. Go
signed.
get him. Go get him.
Yep.
You know
You
what
went
you
to the
getting.
finals with him.
Right.
I'm not
You know what
saying
you're
I'm not
getting out
saying that
of
they
them.
will, but you know how it works.
He said he wants
With
to
those
be on
two.
a contender, though. He said he wants to be on
Well,
Phoenix about to
yeah,
rebuild.
of
I
course he
mean,
wants to
yeah,
be
but I
on the
mean, I'm
contender.
just saying, like, at least try. I mean,
Mhm.
don't just sit there and not do anything. I mean, the whole goal is to make the team the best, make the best possible team you can be. So I mean, hey, if he's a free agent, see what's there. Ain't no
Of
wrong with
course, your
that.
dirty playing ass want to be on the contender. You ain't got. I mean, you only got so much in the tank. And although, shout out to Chris Paul for playing all 82 games this past season. You don't get that. You don't get that often from players that's played as long as him.
A 40-year-old point guard, like
All right,
hell no.
Yeah,
dude.
Absolutely not. I know, but yeah, Wiley already gave a short answer on it. I mean, where does Phoenix go from here? Like, he's 28 years old. They just had the 10th pick overall in the draft.
he's
They
just
got
chilling.
I
He's just
mean,
chilling. I mean, I will say that I mean, they had like okay moves. I think drafting Kaman. I was even kind of when they traded Durant and they got back the 10th pick. I was like, man, they're actually gonna go for a big man. And I was hoping they wouldn't get Kamon out of Duke because that was my top guy in the draft. But I mean, hey, I mean, we did a solid job. But I mean, Phoenix, like I said, they're just chilling. They're not, a serious contender. So,
Right.
you know, yeah, so ain't nothing to say much.
if you're I mean, if you're Phoenix, like if you're Matt Ishba and all like the front office, do you let Devin Booker like not walk because you got to trade for him, get the value back, but do you trade him to fully rebuild, or do you just have a
That I
soft
mean
rebuild?
I mean it's like okay, you couldn't trade. I mean, we know that you were able to get you were able to get value back for Durant. Okay, it's close. You went ahead, and of course, nobody wasn't going to because Bradley Bill he didn't really have a market on the
Nope.
trade market, so you try to make the best of a bad situation. You waived them, whatever you had to do, you got that. Okay, it's close. Now Devin Booker is looking left and right, and he has no supporting cast to actually go out and win games. And see, I'm the type of person that's like this right here. Okay, if the direction that I'm going doesn't lead me to a win, doesn't allow me to have a winning culture, then obviously I need to go into a different direction to do that, no matter what that looks like. Whether if it's where, okay, I can trade for a player or a sign a free agent to get me back on track, or it's where I say, you know what, I'm just going to rip the band aid off, trade whoever I need to trade to get value back, and start
Yep.
from scratch.
Yep.
Phoenix, they don't have that luxury. They don't there's not a free agent out there that's going to make them a contender or a deep or a a competitive playoff team overnight. Nor
Well,
can they trade for somebody to do that either. They just got rid
they
of Durant and they waived Bradley Bill.
they shot themselves in the foot to do that by giving
They did.
Booker this contract.
They did. They certainly did. So I guess it's just more so of like, okay, either they're delusional enough to think that okay, they can still win games by giving him this contract, or if it's just where they just want him to retire as a Phoenix Sun since he's been there throughout his entire career. I
Whole
mean, fine.
career.
But if it's where you're trying to win a
Mm.
championship or whatever the case may be, then you should be smart enough to know like you're not going to do that with Devin Booker because he's been there throughout his entire career. He came into the league when he was like 18, I think, and
Super
he's been to the
young.
finals once before, but he hasn't done
Mhm.
anything outside of that. So to say at least, yeah, I think that they should start from scratch. I mean, yes, you signed into a 2-year deal. Okay. I'm pretty sure somebody out there would love to take on Devin Booker in his new contract, right now. So, as far
That's
as,
the team
his
dumbing.
value goes, yeah, I mean, as far as value goes, I mean, I think you could get possibly
I'm
two or
finna
three
say
first
the
round
value's
picks from
there.
him. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
the
it's not
value's
like it's
there.
not yeah, but it's just more so of like are you disciplined enough to actually do it? Because I mean, I get it. If you trade them, yeah, a lot of people are not going to come to the games. You're not going to make much money. I get all that, but at the same time, I mean, at some point, every team is going to go through that. At some point, every team will have to go through a rebuild. I mean, there are other teams right now, I could say that can go through rebuild, but we don't have that kind of time. But I'm just saying for Phoenix, it just feels like okay, they tried everything that they've done, with the acquisitions of, you know, their, Kevin Durant, because they gave up, pretty, a good bit for Kevin Durant. I'm not even gonna hold you. They gave up,
Oh yeah.
a price for Durant, and then you went out and get Bradley Beal, and that was the assumption that hey, that was a team that was going to win, and it didn't work out. So
They
your
had
only
they
choice
had no bench.
is trade. Yeah. So I mean, you got some young guys, through the draft and all that. So you get that. You trade Devin Booker. You get whatever assets you get, and go from there.
Yep.
That's what you
I
should
mean,
do.
he's only 28, so like
He's still
he's
young.
he's
He
entering
got plenty in the tank.
he's entering his prime.
Yeah.
So if there's a team willing to take on that money or
Ooh.
take on the
Right.
bulk of that money,
Mhm.
then I'm sure it's somebody out there that's willing to pull the trigger if it
Oh
came
yeah.
down to.
Yeah.
Also, even before we move on to our next topic, because I know we've been on free agency for a little bit. It's that time of the season, though. Just wanted to assess his roster. Before we do move on, he's like we did say, he's still young right now at 28. So, I mean, hey, they have Jalen Green, they got Dylan Brooks. Even those
I
two.
forgot about Jalen Green going there.
They do have Jalen Green, who's
Yeah.
21 point per game scorer, so that he can
That's
go shit though. But that means he's probably gonna stay at the point guard position more than likely. I mean, because I mean Jalen, you can't trade
It's just too. Uh,
because you
I
can't
I
trade
can't.
for a number.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Who
You, there's no way you can support this. I'm not saying it to you, Antoine. I'm just saying like overall, like there's just no way you could see like an actual vision, for this team right now. I just don't. Like I
mm-mm,
said, Devin Booker is not a point guard. He's never been that way. The reason
mm-mm.
why he's an all star or whatever whatever reputation he has is because of what he's done at that
Whatever
position.
reputation.
Just give him the
Yeah,
ball and let him score. That's
We
what
know he
he's
could put. Yeah, we know
always
he could put
been.
the ball in the basket.
Yeah, we all know
I
that.
agree.
Just don't if it's not broken, why try to fix it? Just leave it where it's at. But I mean, like I said, Dylan Brooks, he's a 3-and-D guy. He
Mhm.
brings
Dylan Brooks is
a
there.
lot of
Yes, he
yeah,
did.
a lot of aggression
Jesus
and
He used
Christ.
him.
attitude. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jalen Green,
they
he's still developing into
they
a
not
good.
serious.
He's always been a good player, but
He's their future, in my opinion. He's gonna be low key,
yeah,
depending on, because if this doesn't light a fire under him, like the whole Drea Michelle shit, like I don't know, like what's gonna happen personally. Like this has to light a fire because he was already averaging 20 a game for some years in Houston. It still was not good enough. I mean, obviously they
Well,
know they
yeah,
needed.
you had a young team, so like that team in Houston, like it was a free for all. But he was supposed to be the face of Houston, so it was kind of paved out for him to be the scorer. It was just the fact
yeah,
of how inconsistent he was, and it just looked like his game wasn't growing in Houston, unfortunately. Um,
yeah.
if they got to find a point guard. Jesus
That's
Christ.
what yeah, I'm looking at the roster. It kind of
Either
makes my
they
head hurt. Low key.
either they find a point guard or start over because honestly, when you go through
Yeah.
the roster, they have some or at least a couple of building blocks that they could build off of. I mean, you have, Jalen Green, you can start off with that. He's still developing. Then you have Ryan Dunn, who is a really good defender at his position. You add Ekman, Matt
Mhm.
York, who is a interior force, in the paint with his rebounding and defense. And then, like I say, if you happen to trade Devin Booker, then you add the assets to what you get on top of that. So,
Mhm.
I think that's the best part of rebuilding is just having, some building blocks already in store with the team and just build on, from there. So it's just like, what are we doing here? I mean,
Right.
Mhm. I agree.
so
Yeah, man. It really won't be too crazy as long as Devin can stay patient. He does have a good team that is developing under him. Dylan Brooks is gonna play good out the gate. So will Jalen Green. But Ryan Dunn, Common Malawatch, all those
Dylan Brooks
pieces.
doing what?
I mean, like I think he's been playing solid. You feel me? I mean, like they're gonna like make an impact. I mean, it's not like a full rebuild as if like they sold the farm and he's just there by himself. Like
Well,
he, mm,
Dylan, I'm not big on Dylan Brooks, and he shut me up for a little bit.
he's
He shut
29
me up.
years old.
He shut me up his last year at in Memphis.
Houston.
Memphis.
Oh, Memphis.
In
Okay.
Memphis
He averaged
because
14
I
points
say,
a game this year, 4 rebounds and 2 assists, shooting
but I'm like,
43%.
only thing I need Dylan Brooks. Hey, get out there and be the annoying motherfucker that you are, dog. Like get out there and do what you normally do. Be annoying. Do whatever whatever it takes at this point. But I'm not depending on you to shoot that
Mhm.
motherfucker.
I was gonna say he shot 40% from three last year. So
Really,
um
how many threes he take?
Yeah, I was gonna say how many attempts?
Yeah, how many threes he take? Because that motherfucker was putrid the fucking year before.
per game. So like yeah, like in Houston, like yeah, like so this last year he shot 39.7, 23-24. He's the first year in Houston, he shot 35.9.
Yeah,
The last year,
I need. We
mhm,
How
got to
many
dig
threes?
that.
How many threes
Yeah,
was he
that's why I'm
taking
like,
last
yeah, that's
season?
why I'm
Or
like, yeah,
how many attempts on threes?
how many
I'm trying to see
attempts?
if it's showing the percentage.
Because that's
Um
my thing. I'm like you. It's one thing if you're shooting a good amount of threes per game type deal.
per
It's
game.
another thing when you're just you're taking what two maybe three a
Oh,
game.
yeah. Okay, bet. Yeah, it says right here he was taking 2.5 to 6 threes a game, averaging
Yeah, he was taking
40%.
six attempts. So that's not
I
bad.
mean, he's letting that
But
shit
Okay,
fly.
yeah, I mean that's not bad. But it's just Dylan
yeah,
Brooks, like he just
he's
be
too
doing
iffy.
too much.
He's too
This
iffy.
yeah
You don't
yeah.
you offensively, you do not know what you hell to be honest.
Mhm.
Defensively at times too, but for the most part, offensively, you it's a trick bag with him. Cause one game he'll come out and light that bitch up, and the next game you're like, yo, what the fuck just happened? Like, what did Dylan Brooks have for the last game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard, man. I think it's hard in the league, especially when you're not accustomed to it. But either way, all three of these teams, I mean, outside of the Bucks, like, I mean, the Suns didn't really improve. It depends how you look at Phoenix. If you want to say they improved or not, they lost KD, but they gained a lot of good pieces and a piece of the future with Common Malawatch. I do look forward to see Ryan Dunn and Jalen Green and Malawatch in the future, seeing what they do. Jalen Green's still only like 23 years old right now. So Jalen still definitely has a lot of time
I got
himself.
one I
Hmm.
got one thing with Phoenix, and this this is only barring if they find a I want to say an above average point guard. If they are able to find a point guard, you move Jalen to the six man
I can see
I
that.
agree. I agree.
I can see that.
because
Yeah.
he'll flourish. I think he will still be able to flourish in that six man role.
Mhm. I think it'd be
Hmm.
better for him. It'd be better for him like to lead the second unit, not have all that
Yeah,
scoring pressure.
I mean,
Right.
but shit, you don't give them a full green light on that second squad, but you give them a green enough light to let him do what he do.
Green. Okay.
Look, hey, you can't go full green, dog.
Mhm.
Can't go full green with Jalen because
Yellow.
I'm not saying yellow like the greenish yellow. There we go, right there,
The
right in the
yellow
sweet,
light.
right in the sweet spot.
For real. No, y'all are funny, man. Yeah, man, it's been a solid free agency thus far. Definitely had to give that its just due. Broke that down for an hour for you boys and gals. So wanted to move on to the next topic. Of course, gotta stay on schedule. Just wanted to give our way too early emphasis on that. Way too early top five rankings in both conference. Um Wiley, I would love to hear who you have first, seeing how strict you've been, the criticism you have provided thus far. Though you don't got to dig too deep into it. Of
Don't
course,
go
of
to me
course,
first. Shit.
it's way too early.
Don't go to
I can go first too if you want. I can also name my team because I already have my
Go
list
ahead.
too. Most definitely. So going to the standings right now, just to have the teams in mind. Um, so for the number one seed in the Eastern Conference next year, damn man. I think it's gonna be kind of close. Um, shit, man. I'll probably go with. I mean, just being honest, I'll probably go with Cleveland again. On paper, they're just still really, really stacked. With no Boston, I think it gives them the chance to really be the front runners and really take over the East the way they really should have. Because I mean, I say should have because obviously their playoff run was unfortunately very disappointing. They didn't really get to showcase any of the hard work they put on. They got hurt in that Indiana series, and even then, the Pacers were giving them problems, of course. But we did see the Pacers go on to the finals, so. Um, I was going to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers for my first seed.
Mhm.
For the second, I was gonna go with the New York Knicks. I think they're still really good on paper as well. Still a really, really, really stacked team. With Jalen Brunson, with Karl Anthony Towns, with Mikal Bridges. I think Cat's gonna play
And
even better.
the addition of Jordan Clarkson. I like that move.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And we know they have a new head coach now in Mike Brown. So I really like Mike Brown, the future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Good reminder with the Jordan Clarkson. I really forgot they picked him up. That's a great pick for this almost 6 man. And I think he did. Yeah, he did win 6 man of the year
Mhm.
for Jordan Clarkson. So great pickup as well. For the third seed, this is where it gets kind of interesting. The third seed, I was going to go with the Atlanta Hawks for the third seed in the Eastern Conference of the NBA. I do think this is the season where we see Trey Young really take an even higher leap with the supporting cast that he does have, with Dyson Daniels becoming the most improved player with a healthy Jalen Johnson, averaging like 19 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists a game. He did, even leading up to his injury in 36 games. They finally have a full 5 out lineup. Clint Capella was a real wrench in the Hawks system the last few years, and now this will be the first time they actually get to have a full 5 out lineup with Kristaps Porzingis as well as Asa Newell, their new rookie. Of course, they did also get Luke Cornett, who is a phenomenal shooter, and they got Nikhil Alexander Walker, a great defender, and he's also getting better with shooting as well, and he can play a little bit of point guard here and there if needed. So they did a great job increasing their depth. We did see Trey Young lead the league in assists last year, so he's only going to continue to pass it more. And now that he has an even better supporting cast, and he has the star talent right beside him now with a solidified player like Kristaps, with Jalen Johnson, who's breakout star now, and another breakout star, in my opinion, in Dyson Daniels, who just led the league in steals. I think what puts them at the third seed, it's the whole supporting cast on top of having great depth. I think Trey is going to really maximize the ability of this roster, and I think that the momentum's going to light a fire under Atlanta. And unbiased, I truly do believe that they will be the third seed in the Eastern Conference this year. I think they're going to really show how good they are on both sides of the ball, on offense and defense, how well rounded the roster is now. And I'm really excited for that. I do think the Hawks will be the third seed. The fourth seed, I'm going to go with the Orlando Magic. I think it's gonna be neck and neck between the Magic and the Hawks. I think they're gonna be neck and neck between each other all season. Both teams are pretty talented. I do expect Franz Wagner to take an even bigger leap this year. He did average 25 points a game. Prior to that, he averaged 19 a game. So, every year he's taken a leap inside of that Magic system, and I think he's going to continue to get better alongside Paulo Banchero. They complement each other nicely. And my last team for the top five in the East, I was going to go with the Detroit Pistons. They're getting Jaden Ivey back after losing him. Unfortunately, he was averaging like 18 points a game before he got hurt. Cade Cunningham had another breakout year. You could say breakout, but he really hit that all-star level this year, averaging like 25 points and 9 assists with like 5 boards. Cade Cunningham just has to improve his efficiency. They got their team to the playoffs as the 6th seed. They were 44 and 38 this year after being like 14 and like 68 the year before that. So they showed amazing improvement. They're only going to improve with the momentum with JB Bickerstaff in the locker room. So I do think that Detroit, the Pistons will be the top 5 team. Again, that was the Cavs, the Knicks, the Hawks, the Magic, and the Pistons for the East. For the West, I was going to go with the Oklahoma City Thunder for the 1 seed. They've only gotten better. They extended their core, their all-star trio. Um, so they're going to have a real stronghold on the West for a long time. Excuse me. The oldest is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander at 26 years old. And he just won the Finals MVP, the MVP, and the scoring title all in 1 year. So he's only going to get better, averaging 32 a game this year. The 2 seed, this is where it gets kind of interesting. I think the Denver Nuggets will be the 2 seed of the Western Conference this year. They made a lot of great moves, getting Tim Hardaway Jr., Cam Johnson. Aaron Gordon did get hurt, and I think in the playoffs he was averaging like 17 points and 7 boards a game before he got hurt in the playoffs. So they improved their depth. They also got Bruce Brown Jr. back. They did get Bruce Brown back. So I think they're gonna be pretty good this year. The Denver Nuggets. I think they'll be a strong 2 seed. Nicola's only getting better. I think Jokic is like what? I think he just turned 30 like this year. If he's not
Mhm.
still 29. So yeah, he just turned 30 in February. So Nikola is just now entering his prime like that. And with his play style, he's gonna be averaging these numbers till he's at least 35 years old. So this season, I do think the Denver Nuggets will be the 2 seed. The 3 seed, I was gonna go with the Houston Rockets. I think it's gonna take a little bit to get acclimated with Kevin Durant in that system. I mean, obviously he has the most respect in the locker room, being an all-time great, one of the few all-time greats still walking in the league. But I think with that young core and with Ime Udoka, they play so fast and so aggressive. I think like it's gonna take a minute for them to slow down and really let KD be able to pick his spots and take over in certain moments. So I think they're only gonna be the 3rd seed. It's gonna take them a little bit to get acclimated with each other, the Houston Rockets, but they have a great team on paper. Amen Thompson's gonna play great this year. Kevin Durant, like I said, Fred VanVleet, he just signed an extension. Tari Eason, he's going to play good. Reed Shepard, I think, is going to make a great leap this year as well. They got Clint Capella back as well. They did extend Steven Adams, and they also signed Dorian Finney-Smith from the Lakers on a 4-year deal. The great 3-and-D wing. I'm pretty sure he was averaging. He was shooting like 40% from three. This year. Before he left, yeah, literally 41.1% from three. Before he left, and yeah, like Alperen Sengun, in my opinion, he is the franchise player. Of course, they do have Kevin Durant. He's the superstar of the team, but the franchise player, the future, to me, is Alperen. And I think having Amen Thompson right beside him, we're, not comparing the two, but we're going to get the tandem of like the Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming that we never got to get because they both be in and out of the lineup. So I'm really excited to see that dynamic duo take over in Houston. But going in just for next year, I think they will be the 3 seed just with Katie. Like I said, they have great depth as well. Jabari Smith Jr., he signed an extension. He's getting better. He was getting shitted on a lot this year, the former Auburn Tiger, but he's finally hitting his stride, in my opinion. I get it. He's a former 3 pick, and he should be kind of rising better than where he's at, but they still like what they've seen in him. And Raphael Stone did give him the extension, so they're still very high on him. For the 4th seed, I was gonna go with the Clippers. The Clippers are gonna be really good this year, contrary to some people's beliefs. I think they're gonna be really, really, really good. If they're healthy, they're gonna get and like I think they're gonna play with each other like that in terms of syncing with each other. I like Tyronn Lue as a head coach a lot. I think he's one of the best head coaches, top 3 head coaches in the league right now. Just doesn't get the credit he deserves. The former NBA champion, the only coach to ever come back down 2-0 in a finals against a team that won 73 wins at that. For real. So I think the Clippers are going to be the 4th seed. John Collins, they have great depth. Chris Dunn, Nicholas Batum, like I said, Brooke Lopez, like Garrett mentioned earlier, reminded me of that. I forgot they signed Brooke Lopez, the former champion. And yeah, for the fifth seed, my last team, of course, of the whole shebang, um, I was going to go with um because it's hard to me. I'm kind of stuck between like the Warriors and the Timberwolves. If I had to choose, I was gonna go with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards has improved every single year he's been in the league. He's gonna continue to get better. I like Chris Finch a lot as a coach as well. I love Rudy Gobert in this system. I do think he's get shitted on a lot as well, but I think Rudy can. I think he's played better in Minnesota than his recent years, like in Utah and stuff like that. And I like Julius Randle as well. I thought Julius really had a resurgence with that fire being lit under him as well up in Minnesota. Of course,
Probably heard what I had to say about him.
hmm. Oh
So we
nah, yeah.
probably
You sure? Nah, hell yeah. I didn't feel the fire, you know. And I think Julius is gonna return to another all-star level this year. So you have two all-star caliber players up in Minnesota, as well as having Rudy Gobert. They did
That's
lose
why I
Nikhil Alex.
mean to cut you off. Let me cut you off. Who's your top five? And what
Hmm?
again?
Oh, no, you're good. So I said, and also my bad if I'm dragging it out. My bad if you lost sight count of who I picked.
Are you fine?
Um, nah, it was the Thunder, it was the Nuggets, it was the Rockets, it was the Clippers, and I was gonna pick the Timberwolves as like my fifth. I think the West is gonna be crazy again. And yeah, that was my top five. I think Denver's gonna be. I've always liked Denver. They continue to be good. They have the best player in the world, in my opinion. It's gonna be neck and neck between them and Houston, but I like Denver more than Houston because of their depth and their experience in Denver. So, yeah, man. But yo, that's me. I know that was five teams, but I just wanted to give real reasoning, like, and I thought about it for
no,
sure.
you good.
Before we went. And yeah, Wiley, you can definitely. I don't
Oh
know if you
yeah.
want to go
No, I'm
second.
good now. Shit, it
For
didn't take
sure.
me long to do. This did not take me long to do. We have similar teams. So I'll start in the East. I have the Knicks at number one. I think
Damn.
it's going to, but I think it's going to be a coin flip between the Knicks and the Cavs. Like I said, I like the pickup of Jordan Clarkson. So, and they didn't really lose anybody for real. So we know what we're getting out of the Knicks and Jordan Clarkson, possible six man, perfect, perfect. So and then I got the Cavs at number two. Cavs ain't lose nobody; they still got their core. We know
Hmm.
we have an idea of what we're getting out the Cavs. I have the Pistons at number three. I think they take another. Think they take another leap. Um, the way that they hoop this year, um, following Cade Cunningham, I like what I saw out of them. They were definitely that team that I thought that would do well as far as long as Cade Cunningham took that step. We saw that, so I think they continue to move forward. Like I like what the Pistons what they're doing in Detroit with that team. So I have the Magic 4. Um, I think this is a very underrated team, even though Jalen Suggs is going to miss.
He was hurt. I forgot
So,
he was hurt.
but I think this team with Paulo as their star, like you can't go wrong with this team. Young team, they're going to get up and down the court. So I like that team, and I have the Hawks at 5. Um, you guys have a shit ton of signings. Like y'all got some players. The issue is,
Number five?
hold on, man. Hear me out. Hear me out, big dog. Hear me out.
Yeah, go
It's
for it,
all
bitch.
about the It's all about the chemistry. It's all. Wait till you hear my West. So it's more. It's just more so chemistry because you have guys coming back. So and that's the same with even with the Pistons, but with the Pistons, even without what's my guy Jalen Ivy, like they still did their thing and they still were able to show that they were one of those top teams that can not only make the playoffs, but at least make teams nervous. And I think with him coming back, they're just going to be a little bit better they'll be better than what they were last year. Hawks, y'all had a lot of in and out. So y'all the one signing I love is what y'all took from Minnesota.
Minnesota.
I love that signing. And that's a perfect signing for y'all. It's just the fact of what are we going to get out of I always look at Trey Young, because this motherfucker be iffy at times. And I ain't talking about his play, I'm talking about his attitude.
I think that's done. I think that's dead. I think that's dead, bro. Like
I do
like
not think it's done, bro.
nah, man. Like yo, for him to go out, like yo, like he's not. I just don't think he's doing that celebrity stuff no more. And like yo, he hurdled people like because he addressed it on his podcast. They asked him, "How do you feel about being called a coach killer?" and all that. And he was like, yo, like, I think I can be coached. It just wasn't like the right situation. Like we were losing. And coaches get blamed for losing situations, So I think it's gonna be dead. I mean, I think now, especially
I hope so. I truly hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I truly hope so. Trey's a hooper. We know that. But again, like that yeah, I hate the coach killer label, but that's now something he has to fight off.
Absolutely.
So it's really this season really for the Hawks is really going to be up to Trey, because everybody they have all the pieces. They have the pieces that they need to be a contending team. I'm not saying necessarily a finals team, but a team that can fuck some shit up if they make the playoffs.
That's what makes it exciting.
So I'm interested to see. That's why I have them at 5, because you have all these pieces, and now you have to blend them in and make them work as a team. So not to shit on the Hawks. It's just the fact that I just need to see what y'all gonna look like. That's all.
For sure.
Because y'all may prove me wrong and be like number 3. It's possible, especially in the East. So we don't know what the hell we're getting in the East, especially with Boston being down, Pacers without Halliburton, the Bucks. We don't know what the fuck we're getting from them. Like it's gonna be a free fall in the East outside of that top 3 to 4. Well, we'll say 1 through 5. Like I think it's going to be like a NASCAR race, like a close NASCAR race, where you'll see a lot of changing at the number 1 position, or those first 5 spots. There's going to be a lot of interchangeable teams as we go throughout the season. That's just me. In the West, I got the Thunder at number 1, reigning champs. Enough said. 2, I got the Nuggets. I love that they went and got Valanciunas. That gives that gives Denver a lot of help. That gives them either some backup for Jokic or somebody that can play next to Jokic. Take your pick. I got the Rockets at 3, getting KD. The amount, pretty much everything that they did, they have a perfect mixture of a young team, and then you bring in the vet of KD. You have vets like KD and Fred VanVleet. Like I think that team will they might fuck around and contend for the number 2. I'm not willing to give them that number 1 spot, but they might fuck around and contend for that number 2. But I got them at 3. I have the Wolves at 4. We know what we're getting out the Wolves, even though they did lose their guy to y'all. But for the most part, you still have excuse me, you still have Anthony Edwards, still got you still have your core pieces there for Minnesota. So I think I got them at 4, and then at 5 I got the Clippers. Like I said, they're going to win games. I just need to see what they're going to look like. Like, this is a newly constructed team. You have a lot of pieces coming in outside of James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. So we'll see what we got, but I think they'll be number 5. They'll float in that 4 or 5 space, and then my thing is, what you gonna do in the playoffs? But that's what I got. Look, not bad for somebody who did that shit in a matter of 3 minutes.
Nah, hey, professionals, man, always, always.
What you got, Garrett?
Yep. Quick work. Yeah. So
Garrett, hold on,
okay. So
Garrett was ready to jump. He was ready to fight me.
man, I'm like, you see, man, like we can't get home court advantage. I mean, honestly, I don't even remember the last time we had court advantage. I was like, you can lose. It was Jordan. I mean, so I'm saying, hey, I was Patriot fan. I see what you're saying. So it's like,
You good, bro?
okay, all right. So honestly, just speed it up. I still had the same prediction that Antoine had. So I had Cleveland number 1, then the Knicks at number 2. I do agree with Wiley because it can be interchangeable with the first 2 seeds. I think acquisition of Jordan Clarkson, I think that was a really good move for them as well. Just to bolster their bench because that was something that they needed to address coming off of this past season. So to get Jordan Clarkson, pure score off the bench, I think that does help them a lot. We'll see what happens with Mike Brown as new head coach, see how everything comes together. He's been in this league for a very long time, so he's a very very experienced coach. So I think he'll do a great job in New York. So and of course with Cleveland, you expect them to be number 1, honestly. So we'll see how everything goes with them. They just signed they signed Lonzo Ball not too long ago as a backup point guard stuff, and they traded as a Okoro to Chicago in that deal. But if he can stay healthy, then hey, they'll give him another playmaker off the bench for them, so that'd be good. So after that, then like I said, I have the Hawks at number 3. I do think that with the acquisitions of Porzingis and Luke Kennard and Nikhil Alexander Walker, it's just I think it's the fact that these are not guys that need the ball in their hands to be effective per se. It's not where they're ball dominant or saying like, hey, I have to ball in my hand for me to produce. I think that's why I say I think the chemistry that Riley was bringing, I think that's definitely going to be there for sure. It's all 3 guys are kind of plug and play type of players. But of course, regardless, chemistry is still going to have to be built, but it may not take them long.
Only thing
that's
with
what I'm just.
And the only thing with Porzingis, my concern is Porzingis' health. Will he be healthy enough throughout the season? That's it.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. So I'm hoping that he could play at least half of the season, like he did, last season, because he played 42 games this past season. So that's what you're expecting.
Yes, he did.
Also solid off manager. He did say there are no reservations on KP, so it seems like he's fully healthy. But like I said, I'm hoping at least half the season or more. If he gives us more than that, then hey, that's a bonus. But like I said, all 3 guys, those were these are guys that were much needed. As in Walker, he's a guy that can guard multiple positions. He's an underrated scorer. So I think his partnership with him and that's them together, they're definitely going to get minutes on the floor together for defense purposes. So that's definitely going to look very good for them. And of course, Luke Kennard, Hawks, they needed more shooting, with 3-point shooting rather. So just his presence alone, one of the best 3-point shooters in the league today. Efficiency wise, I think that would definitely help this team a lot in most ways. So that was a good after that, you have Orlando. Of course, they're a team that's going to be a team to be be honest, with the acquisition of Desmond Bain, and then you add more shooting just with him alone. That's been a struggle for them because Orlando, they've always been an elite defensive team, but offensively they just haven't really been up there. So with the addition of Desmond Bain and all that, so you add him to the group, then you can add a lot to that, and also add Ty Jones as well. So, but yeah, I think that's what they should do,
Okay.
and go from there. But after that, then you have the Pistons. I think that they added really good pieces there. So with the addition of Karis LeVert and Duncan Robinson, guys that can score off the bench as well and great offense for them. So obviously they'll be a better team. And I honestly though, when you look at the third, fourth, and fifth seed, I think all three teams are interchangeable. I'm not saying it's set in stone for all three of them, but yeah, like I said, it could change in between and throughout the season. So we've seen that before where teams are like top three seed and they drop down to 4 or 5. So it's definitely gonna be close.
Yep.
So we saw that last season. So that's my top in the East. In the West, yeah. So yeah, OKC for one. That's why I have this. It's kind of gonna be interchangeable for the second, third seed with the Rockets and the Nuggets. Right now, I have Rockets at number 2, and then the Nuggets at number 3. With Houston, I think they did a really good job this offseason. They extended Jabari Smith Jr. You went out and got Anthony Smith. You brought back Clint Capella, another big that can help you in rebounding and defense purposes. And of course, they added Kevin Durant. So he's an upgrade over Jalen. For the Nuggets, they've done a really good job of just refocusing on defense around Nikola Jokic. You went out and traded Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson. Then you've added Bruce Brown, a key piece in that finals round a couple years back. And you went out and got Harvey Jr. and Jonas Valanciunas as well. So those are really good pieces around that Denver Nuggets team. Now, this is where it's a little bit different for me. So for me, number 4 seed, I think, well, I would say I think, but number 4 seed, I have the Dallas Mavericks. And the reason why I have the Dallas Mavericks is because that they have, because even though a lot of people, take, they blast the Mavs for trading Luka, which I get that they should have never done that. But I just think that from a defensive standpoint, if you're thinking that everybody's going to come back fully healthy with PJ Washington, of course, Anthony Davis, Derek Lively, and Daniel Gafford, I think that's definitely going to happen. You didn't really see that when that trade happened, honestly, because a lot of guys got hurt. But just imagining all those guys come back fully healthy. And then, of course, you add Cooper Flag, no one overall pick in the draft. So, of course, you're going to have them offensively along with Kyrie and Klay Thompson. So I think that's a team that could really be a top 4 seed team for me, just based on the fact that they are, I think.
Damn, I did not say Dallas, bro.
Yeah.
I did not say Dallas.
Yeah, so I think something they will do. Yeah.
Who's gonna be their point guard?
Point guard?
Yeah.
Fuck. I think probably D'Angelo. Like D'Angelo Russell.
Oh yeah, I forgot D'Angelo. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, because I think, I don't know. I don't think Kyrie may be back.
I don't think he's rushing.
Soon. Even with D'Angelo Russell. So I mean, he's solid point guard till he comes back. And then the 5th seed, I do have the Clippers as number 5th seed. Just based on the comments I made before, I just think that they are a sleeper team, and I think that they will be, slightly better than the Lakers. I was going to say the Lakers because they were top 3 seed team after they acquired Luka Doncic, but with them losing Dorian Finney-Smith and not really capitalizing, they went and added DeAndre Ayton, but they didn't really make any other moves outside of that. So, but even with DeAndre Ayton, I like him as a player, I guess offensively, but defensively, he has his days where he just doesn't put absolutely no effort, and that's not going to help this team. That team at all. But with the Clippers, they add more serious depth to their roster. So I think the Clippers, I think they'll take, they'll still be in that conversation as a top 5, top 6 seed, but I think they'll be a top 5 seed. So yeah, that's my prediction.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
do me a favor, back out and come back in, dog.
Yeah, man. Nah, again, it's
I like his Mav. I like the Mavs pick. I didn't pick the Mavs because I didn't want to put that. I don't want to put them in there because of Cooper Flag because essentially you're going that pressure is going to fall on Cooper Flag producing, and I'm not the. If you're not a LeBron type player where you can automatically come in and make a grand entrance like that, like I don't see I don't know, and Cooper Flag can prove me wrong, but the way that team is constructed, they don't need Cooper Flag to be Cooper Flag to be that.
mm-hmm.
So that's part of the reason why I did not put Cooper Flag or excuse me the Mavs in that top 5. I didn't put the Lakers in the top 5 because we don't know what the fuck we're about to get from the Lakers. Or
The Lakers. Yeah,
that's
man, it's
just on
hard.
and that's just from a LeBron standpoint because we don't know what's about to happen. There's too much drama surrounding the Lakers right now, and they need to go ahead and it's either you nip this shit in the bud or you go ahead and make whatever move you got to make to appease Bron. Um, Bron did what he was supposed to do, and that's get that 52 million. Everybody's like, why did he sign? Why did he opt in? 52 million reasons why he opted in. That's why. It's 52 million reasons as to why he opted in.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, so yeah, that's the reason why I didn't in hell, like I said, with the Clippers and the Wolves, to me that's interchangeable. Because
Clippers and the Wolves.
again, I don't know what I'm getting out of the Clippers. The Wolves, we've seen them be fickle. Like they have their moments. They have their moments to where um, they look good, and then they'll just fucking go on a landslide. So
Yeah, no, I mean they're all good choices. Like I think, of course, it's gonna take a little bit for the conferences to actually weed themselves out, really separate themselves, and really align themselves naturally to really know who the contenders are and who the rebuilding
mhm,
teams are, or like the teams who really need to make some trades for the trade deadline.
right,
Um, Either way, I think the 25-26 season is going to be one for the Bucks for sure. Just with the Cooper Flag coming into the league, this whole draft class really. Like I said, it's pretty poetic that they came in at the half of the decade because these crop of young players are gonna be the stars of the 2030s and then stuff like
right,
that.
right,
I mean, like when you have a 29-year-old Tyrese Maxey alongside a 24-year-old VJ Edgecombe and stuff like that.
right.
Like I can't wait to see like their pairing. I really can't wait to see like Tyrese be the face, but VJ's developed now. And now Tyrese is getting older, and now VJ is the face. A player like that
And
can
we,
change a franchise.
I was gonna say that's another team we don't know what the fuck we're getting out of the Sixers.
Philadelphia.
Like you got, and they have pieces like you got Jared, you have McCain coming back from injury, which I'm excited to see him because like he showed that he can play in this league. Like we knew he was a scorer at Duke, but
In
Jesus
college, he was
Christ,
35, and then like the
yeah,
tournament.
like but then to come into the league and was about to be pretty much I have him as the
Rookie of
damn
the
front
year.
runner for rookie of the year, you know. So I just hated that injury happened for him,
Yeah, his
and
knee.
yeah, so. And then on top of that, we have no clue what the hell we're gonna get out of Joel Embiid. And I'm talking about health wise. I ain't even talking about we know what he can do on the court when he's healthy, but health wise, like all the shit that they were saying that they were gonna possibly have to do to get his knee right, like
Right.
yikes. Yikes.
Nah, you're right, man. Like, and it's crazy, like even like how you say like to get his knee right. That kind of takes me to my next topic because some people have considered Joel really be on like the verge of retirement with like the injuries. He's suffered throughout his career. He's only 29, Joel Embiid. He's certainly a
Mhm.
future Hall of Famer right now for sure. A scoring title, of MVP, a 6-time, I think he's a 7-time All Star. So if he could retire right now, will certainly be a Hall of Famer. The Wells Fargo Center will probably retire 21 for Joel, even though he didn't really have much playoff success at all, you know. But
I would not retire that jersey. For
man,
what?
I don't know what the fuck is like going on, like, because
I
like my
would
friends
not.
be talking like be beyond that
He
too,
has
like,
not done enough for
but
me.
it's like, I mean, yo, when you're one of like, so you're saying if someone
The
comes in right now and they just were number 21, it wouldn't be fucking weird, like it wouldn't be like, whoa,
No, because what has he done? He has he's
I'm
won
sorry, that's crazy.
he won that MVP and fucking damn near threw a bitch fit to even get the MVP, which I think
If a nigga comes in, if
that
somebody comes
MVP
in,
should have went to Joker. Like, let's be real.
yeah, I agree for sure, for
Let's be
sure.
real.
I agree.
But
Like Nicola
I
should have
don't think
4.
I don't think he's done enough because you came into the league injured.
With a
Like
broken foot
you off top you missed a year.
in 2004. You're
And right,
funny.
you
Oh, you're
off
funny.
top you and I'm just saying, like off top you missed a year, and then that
Bro,
became a thing.
trust the process,
Unfortunate.
baby.
Like
Trust the
unfortunate,
process.
it became a thing. His health became a thing. But we saw like when healthy, he's a
He's a
monster.
monster.
Yeah, he's a monster. But I don't think he's done enough for a retirement. I don't even think he's done enough for the Hall of Fame, but he might get it due to
That's
that MVP.
crazy, Wiley.
I'm just saying.
Like, I mean, bruh, like,
I'm just saying, dog.
like that's. I don't know about that, man. Like, he's a future Hall of, like, yo, the things he's done in his career, like, yo,
I'm
he's
just
literally
saying. You know me,
in
I'm not a proponent of just giving motherfuckers shit. You got to show me.
like, yo, and I get it. Like, of course, this isn't even about. I just wanted to go through, like, I mean, yo, okay, so he's an MVP. He's a 7-time All Star, 4-time All NBA, 3-time All Defensive Second Team, two-time NBA scoring champion, and he was pretty good at Kansas too. The former number 3 overall pick.
He'll because we have no clue what the criteria is for a Hall of Famer. He'll eventually get in.
I mean, almost a 10-time All Star as an MVP. Like, you're the best player in the league that year. I get it. It was Nicola. Like, I get all that kind of stuff. But like, he was still averaging 30. He still had a pretty fucking good year that
No,
year. Like, he
I
still had
again, I
astronomical numbers that season. Like, it was like what was like he was
yeah.
averaging like it was like 33 a game as a center, which is really hard to do. On top of almost 2 blocks a game. And yeah, 33 points a game. He had,
Oh
he had a
no,
great year that year.
again, balled the fuck out. But it's just the way, like, there's so much that surrounded him. When it comes to Joel, and again, and a lot of it is unfortunate because, and the main part is health. The main part is health, and that's a
Mhm.
big proponent of, because you have to play the game. You have to play these games. Um, but like I said, like running down the list, yeah, he's gonna make the Hall of Fame. Like it it better not be fucking first ballot, but he's gonna make the Hall of Fame. Um, I'm just not so quick to fucking just throw him in there. And then jersey retirement,
Bro, you're bugging if you don't think that nigga's getting a jersey. You're bugging. You're bugging
man,
Wiley if you don't think he's
fuck
gonna get a jersey
that,
retirement, bro.
dog.
Yo, like you're like you
He has
see,
not done anything to
I don't.
from
I just don't mean, man. Bruce
from
Bowen got a jersey
dog.
retire. I mean, bro, come on, man. Like,
Hey, how far has he taken the Sixers?
I mean, not very far at all. He hasn't really had sleep
Exactly. So
around. But I mean,
why are we retiring his jersey?
but it's like he would have still been a great player that walked through the
That
halls
that
of the
that
Wells Fargo
hey,
Center.
all those stats and shit, cool story, bro. But you ain't done shit for the team.
I'm
You
sorry,
haven't
man.
you
That's
haven't gotten the team where we needed to be.
Allen Iverson. I mean, yo, they made the
Got them to the
finals.
final. Got them to
I
the fucking
mean,
finals with that shitty ass team. Well deserved.
Charles Barkley. I mean, what did Charles do in Philadelphia
Dog.
to get a jersey? I mean, for
I
eight
mean, he
years,
left.
Barkley
He
was in Philadelphia.
he left.
I
But
mean, like,
Charles Barkley wasn't no slouch either.
and then yeah, he was a monster. He was the second best player in the world at that time. But they retired number 34. I do think they retire for sure, bro. The 100% they retire. Number 21. I 100% think. I mean, yeah, he was an MVP. He had an era, and I get it. Like they lost, but like look at who he wasn't losing to no trash. But he was losing to Giannis. He was losing to LeBron. Like he was losing to the Celtics. Like look at who he was losing to. Like it's hard nowadays to like not man. You're not gonna see no Michael Jordan type of dude like holding down a league. It's just not gonna happen
Nah,
anymore. Right?
but
People came into LeBron's era and they took shit. So it's like I
and
mean.
my thing is, if you're because a lot of it is on him too. And when I say it's on him, that talking, you get to run in your mouth, you got to back it up. You did not do that. All that shit talking you was talking to Joker. Joker would have got him a championship. He
I
led that.
mean,
He led that team and grabbing MVPs, doing everything that he was supposed to do as the guy. So I again, I'm just also it's Philly. They're going to do it, but again,
oh,
for
so now
for
it's
me,
you gotta
for
diminish that.
for me, this nigga would not get his jersey retired.
I mean, like yeah, we could. I could go back and forth on that shit all night, but like obviously, like you have your opinion on it. Because man, I just don't. You don't use a future whole. You don't just. I mean, yo, so if someone came in a Brooklyn and like they just gave him number 7, it wouldn't be like, damn, man, KD, like you
Yes,
can't.
give them number 7. KD's legacy is in OKC.
And I'm not saying that they're gonna retire these. No, I'm not saying that. I'm never overzealous. I'm never like being
I'm
illogical.
I'm
But
KD for me. KD didn't do enough in Brooklyn. Like that fucking team. That team did not. It did not go well. So there's no point. There's no point in trying to save the number 7, the number 11, and whatever the fuck number that James Harden wore. Like, no, fucking give them numbers out. Ain't nobody done shit over there in Brooklyn.
so
If you
so
gonna look, if you gonna retire somebody's number, retire Brook Lopez. He's a leading scorer in Brooklyn history right now. Retire his number if you gonna retire somebody's fucking number. Shit.
so let me ask you: Do the Warriors retire number 35?
No, fuck no.
2 rings, 2 championships, 2
No,
Finals MVPs.
no,
Okay, bro.
no,
That's crazy. Nah, now you're like, yo,
no.
Golden State loves showing love to their legends. They have so many numbers up there, like Alvin Adels, Andre Iguodala.
No.
They have so many numbers up there at the
Andre
dome.
Iguodala is an outlier, and I think that's mostly because of the
Won
type of
4
person,
rings.
the type of person that Andre but also character goes into that too. Like there's, but yeah, so 4 rings, but a lot of that goes into character, and that didn't end well. That didn't end well in Golden State for Kevin Durant. So
I'm pretty sure
no,
he left Golden State, went back
that's what I'm
to
saying.
Golden State.
That did not end well between Golden State and Kevin Durant. And then to double down and when he was available to be traded, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going back to Golden State." So why the fuck am I going to retire his jersey?
And I think
Hell
time
no,
heals. I think time heals all wounds,
man.
man.
And heels are hard to walk in. Ask the women. Fuck all that.
But nah, like I just think with Kate, man, like I said, again, I can't keep you here all night, but it's like, yo, I think they like showing love to their legends, all their historic players, like they love their legends, like Golden State, just the franchise, all the franchises are different,
You know who's getting their jerseys retired in Golden State? Steph, Clay,
and
Draymond.
Draymond for sure. But I mean, yo, he won the he got 2
And
banners.
Looney.
Devon Looney, I could see that.
Because again, character. Like Not only yes, he was there for those championships, but also like they love Looney. It's just, you know, I Looney put out a statement about why he left. So there's that. And that's a indictment on Steve Kerr.
I mean, yeah, we saw Nick Collison get a jersey retirement for the Oklahoma City. No one can ever wear
Yes,
number 4
absolutely.
for the Thunder
Absolutely.
ever
And
again.
you have to think about
Like,
it. He was there when they were the Supersonics, bro.
I mean,
So
yeah,
yes,
like,
so absolutely yes. Nick Collison gets his jersey retired. Absolutely, he stayed for the long haul until he decided to call it quits. So absolutely yes, Nick Collison, absolutely well deserved.
I mean, yo, I mean, like, hey, you can say another one, Udonis Haslam. They were in there. He retired number 40. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
get it.
he's been there from day
Day
one.
one, yeah, for sure. Like,
Yeah, so
he's
that's understandable. But when you're talking about a small stint and then it ends bad, fuck that. You're not
but
getting your
like, I don't
jersey
think.
retired here.
I mean, yo, KD and Clay. I mean, like KD and Steph. Like when they see each other, it's not like they don't have. They
What
have like
that? But it's not between KD and
animosity.
Steph. That's
And
not between.
Draymond. So like Draymond, it's like holds all will and power over like
But
the front.
again, that's not between Draymond. Excuse me, that's not between KD and Steph or Draymond. That's
Because
between
Draymond called
KD and
because
the
Draymond called
organization.
KD a bitch. Did he not? He called him a
Right.
bitch.
Not
Did he
I
not?
and from KD, I don't know why you ain't socked that motherfucker in his face.
I mean,
People,
it was
hey, motherfuckers don't get
on
hit in
the
the face.
sideline. I mean,
You
like
still, hey, you sucked it. You sucked that motherfucker out like Draymond sucked fucking what's called out
Jordan
at
Poole.
practice.
Like I
You ain't
get
finna
it.
call me. You ain't finna call me no bitch in front of everybody in this goddamn bitch. I
And that's when you see
haul off
KD
on
turn
you.
around and like this is why I'm dying. You can read his
Right.
lips,
So,
man.
so again, why are we retiring KD's jersey in Golden
But
State?
like, yo, I just think again, like I think time heals all wounds. Like, and I bro, like
Man, fuck
when
them
he makes the
wounds.
Hall of Fame and shit like that, that's when they're gonna be like, come on, he played for us. We had fond memories. We have
Right.
2 banners
Yeah.
up here
Yes,
right
we
now.
can talk about all the good times. We could sit at a campfire and have a kumbaya moment. But as far as retiring that jersey, nah, dog. Miss me with that one.
I don't think anyone's ever wearing 35 and Golden State ever again. But
Bullshit.
yeah, I mean,
Bullshit.
I mean, like we'll see how it goes. Like I'd bet money on that,
uh
but now like
speaking of I was gonna say, speaking of retirement, does LeBron
retirement,
retire?
yeah,
Does
man.
LeBron
Like
retire?
I don't know. Like I hope not. Obviously we did see that
Uh,
he has not signed an extension with the Lakers. They did not offer one. The Lakers front office did not. Even if like
oh
Dave
yeah, because they're ready to move on.
exactly. And like the writing is on the wall, unfortunately. Even like, yo, that's how much of a business it is, even for someone like LeBron
But
James.
LeBron know it's a
Like,
business. He's been moving. He's been moving as a businessman ever since his Heat days. He's been moving as a businessman, and
and it's
rightfully so.
crazy because like LeBron, because I get it, they don't want to give him the 5-year max because it's like at
No, for
45,
what?
40, like what's gonna happen? But right now at 40, he just got done averaging 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists a game.
And
Like,
that's all. That's
I
all fine
mean,
and dandy. But hey, my guy, you got
like.
mileage. It is time. It is time for the Lakers to move on into the future. They of course they did that. The start of it was trading for Luca, and now it's all right. We want to usher it. To me, it's like, hey, we want to usher you out, but also like we're not finna sit here and let you kind of dictate what's about to happen. Either you're about
Absolutely.
to play for us or you're about to play for us, because 52 million is on the line here.
For
And
1 year of
and
LeBron,
right. So either LeBron gonna suit up or he gonna shut up. One or the other.
and he's mad, man. You can tell he's feels slighted, man.
I'm
Even at 52 million, like he's like, this is
hey,
it. Like, I
but
mean,
he did that because he wasn't gonna get 52 million nowhere else. Because think about it, all the the only way you're
I
getting 52
totally, I
million,
100% disagree with that.
the only way you're getting 52 million is from a bad team that's willing to spend the money.
You take it.
Not one of the a playoff contending team is not giving up 52 million for a year of LeBron. I don't give a
Not
damn
one.
how you shake it. That's what I'm saying. Nobody. I'm talking about 52 million for 1 year. Nobody was. If LeBron had opted out of that and tried to go to another team, nobody was giving him 52 million for 1
I
year.
was gonna
What?
say, because
No.
if it's like a contract, like if he wanted to get like $150 million contract right now at 40 years old, though, for 3 years,
Somebody be stupid enough to do it.
I'd 100% think he could get that shit in a
Well, yeah.
heartbeat.
Again, because motherfuckers
Like
are
if Michael
stupid.
Jordan's playing for the Wizards at 39 years old and shit like that,
That was
and
a business move
LeBron,
for Jordan.
hmm,
That was a business move because Jordan was on his way out. The Bulls didn't. He was trying to retire as a bull as the Bulls and be in the front office. The Bulls was like, nah, fuck that. So he went to the Wizards, and that was his way. That was his way to transition out to be a part. Be a part of be in the organization, which worked out well for him. LeBron, on the other hand, again, you're owed 52 million. Nobody's willing to give you 1 year 52 million. But like you said, 150 million, somebody's dumb enough to do it. Somebody would have been stupid enough to do it because they would have been
he's
desperate.
stupid, man. I mean, he's still averaging
They would have
25
been,
points.
but
8. It's not like he's averaging, like, it'd be different if he was averaging like 18, 6, and 5. Like, sure, but 25, 8, like, man,
I get all that. But again, we're dealing with another a year older. Like you have to, again, somebody who's in their 40s. Hey, the engine don't run like it used to.
but he's
Yes,
a
LeBron,
specimen. Like, this thing is
uh, uh,
most definitely a one of a kind,
and the
and he's
chinks
proven
and
that.
the chinks in the armor are showing. Those
He's
chinks are
getting
getting
injured
bigger.
here and there,
But
yes,
in
but
those injuries,
like,
so think about it. When Bron so-called got injured, those injuries lasted all of like 2 minutes. When LeBron gets injured now, them
he'd be
shits
out
is
for
lasting
some games for
for
sure.
weeks because he is older. Hey,
But those are some bad. I mean,
he's
it was a groin tear, and like he popped his
I
foot.
I
Like it was
I get again, these injuries they last longer at this age. You again, take it from me, dog.
mhm,
These injuries last a hell of a lot longer than what they used to. So, are you willing to deal with that? Are you because you don't want again, you don't want to put all your eggs in this basket and something God forbid something happens and now you have to wait a month, possibly 2 months, depending on what the injury is, and he's owed all this fucking money.
for sure.
That like again, like you said, business. I've always said LeBron he's the old motherfucker in the club. The lights is on. It's time to go home. He don't want to go home. I mean, but you got the Lakers who set up this contract, and so it's like, well, lights is on, and I'm still sticking around. So
It's
we,
so crazy, man. Because like he already did his job, though. He already won them a championship. Like that banner is up there forever. Like he's
yeah.
still, and I get it, man. He's only gonna get older, and they knew this day would come. Like he signed at 34 back in
I mean,
2018.
but that's the thing for me. He knew this day would come. So there's no again. It's just to me. It's a ploy to kind of dictate what he wants to do next, and that's rightfully so on his part. But also, like you're still under contract. So he who makes the money makes he who has the money makes the rules. The Lakers have the money, so they get to
And
make
they're
the fucking
under new
rules.
ownership. And they're
Right.
under
And
new
and
ownership.
and that's the other part. Hey, the new ownership, like shit, we about to pay you 52 million. Nah, dog, you ain't going nowhere. Come on, come on, suit up, homeboy.
For real. Like I wrote that in an article for the Lakers Sleeve. Shout out to the Lakers Sleeve. We got 100,000
Yeah,
followers on Twitter right now. If y'all want to come
shout out.
follow us, support our work, most definitely. Just published an article literally on that situation with the new owner Mark Walters. Also the LA Dodgers owner as well bought the team for 10 billion. So
Hmm.
they're flooding a lot of cash into LA, but they're trying to get younger, not
Jesus
older. And they're
Christ.
and they're only gonna get older, of course, if they extend LeBron. Even though, in my opinion, just my take on it, he's still a good player. You're not like wasting your money therefore, but they don't want to have to pay him that much to have because
Right.
he's only gonna ask more. If it's 52 million right now, he's only gonna ask for more. Like
I mean,
because
he's in let's not let's be clear. People like LeBron, Steph, KD, like all your major superstars have been vastly underpaid throughout their career because there's a salary cap. So you can't just fucking throw a shit ton of money at a player for them to stay.
390
So
million.
right. so so I get it, but it's like at what point, like for when it comes to these teams in the front office, at what point are you? What's your breaking point? You know, like what's your breaking point to the point of like, yo, nah, we not doing this. And I think that's where the Lakers are right now. They're like, yo, we not doing this. Like we made these moves, and you decided to opt in. That we cool. We knew what time it was because of your contract. Like you opted in, all fine and dandy. You can sit here and pout and do all this shit online and in the public and on podcasts and interviews all you want. But if the Lakers are like, we not budging, ain't shit LeBron can do. It's either you're going to play or you're not going to play.
It's because like that Rich Paul reporting said it all. Like when they said it was about like they asked him had did you did they offer an extension? And they said, and Rich Paul was like, no, they didn't offer an extension, and we also never asked for one. So it's like, man, so like
Because
they're
they thought
thinking
I
when they were gonna hit their phones up, they were gonna come with a
mm-hmm.
deal, and they never,
Mm-hmm.
and like the phone never rang, and
Yep.
like
Yep.
they're like that's sending a message to him, literally, you know.
I'm again, that's part of the business. LeBron know that.
It's just
LeBron
crazy.
ain't new to this. He not new to
That's just
this.
crazy,
Rich
bro.
Paul ain't new to this. They know what's up. But they're everybody's playing their part of the game. That's it. Everybody's playing their part of the game. The Lakers are playing their part of the game because, like you said, they want to get younger. They're ready to get this team to a slightly younger state, but a competitive state. LeBron is trying to he's somewhat ready to go out, but not really. But he won his money.
Mm-mm. You don't want to give that up, man. When it's
That's what I'm
over,
saying.
it's
He's
over.
on, he's at the cusp. But also, again, for me, LeBron, like, there's really nothing else for you to do, dog. There's
It's
not.
it's the like you can for him, he thinks you can never have, and because that money lasts forever. When you're 65 years old, not like he's
This
ever gonna
nigga's
run out. His
this nigga's a
merchandise forever gonna sell.
billionaire.
Like his shoes, his
Yeah,
merchandise, his
yeah.
digital income,
Your
like
merch is forever gonna sell. Like
everything, bro.
everything's
Like
gonna sell. Like anything you put your name on, it's gonna sell. You're LeBron. You're LeBron fucking James. So it's just a matter of all right. I just I think he has not come to the grips of wanting to retire. Like is like
it's
it's like
scary.
he's teetering the line, and and it's like, but I'm like also again, you're LeBron fucking James. You can do what the fuck you want because guess what? People are gonna come to you once you call it quits. Guess what they're gonna do? Hey, you want to come to ESPN? Hey, you want to come to Fox One? Hey, you want to come here?
Oh man,
Like
dude, if he
like
ever wants
motherfuckers are going to
to
pick motherfuckers are
TV,
going to pick up
man.
the they are going to pick up the phone so fast to try and get him on somebody's network. So I'm like the the career is not his basketball career will be over, but the career outside of basketball is going to be just beginning for him.
And like that's the thing, like it's just gonna hurt, man. Like I know hey y'all,
Oh,
we're about to wrap it up soon, but like I did want to like talk about this last part, like what I just said. Like it's gonna hurt, man. Like all them
It's
years, man.
time.
Like
It's time, bro. All good things must come to an end.
that shit gonna
That's just
hurt,
like
man.
just like with Jordan. When Jordan officially retired, hey, all good things must come to an end. But
Grown
we all
ass men were crying on that day. Best
I
believe it.
I was just like, all right, because I was like, I had my next favorite player. I had my next favorite player, but again, it's like fan is short for fanatics. For fanatic, the motherfuckers that were crying, they're part of that stand culture shit.
But
That's
I
some
feel
shit.
like nah, it's different. Like when something's over, like it's fucking over. Like Carmelo Anthony is done. Dwayne Wade is done, man.
And
Chris
and
Bosh,
and
like
and now Chris Bosh is something different because that was a medical thing.
of course, with the
That was
physical
that was
side,
that
of
was tough.
course,
That was tough to see. But that's you know who I cried for? Stuart Scott. I
right?
cried. I shedded a couple of tears for Stuart Scott. I grew up with Stuart Scott, and Stuart Scott left the game because he passed away.
Passed away.
LeBron is not passing away, y'all. He's going to retire. That is it. Like, like let's not make it out to like again. This he can't play forever. He cannot play forever.
It just sucks to see him get old now, and like, cause like
We
yo,
all getting old.
but like I just see it as like yo, like when they have like that documentary when it has him like rising in like in his mid-20s from Cleveland to Miami and going back to Cleveland, it's gonna show him like picking off all the legends that he was picking off when he was rising up, and then as like when it gets to him getting older 39, 38, when like Anthony Edwards crosses him over, or when somebody, it's
Again,
just
uh,
like
that's
yeah,
that's the
man,
part of
like
the cycle. That's the part of the cycle. I'll say this, and this will be my last little bit. I think people, they what they don't look at, and this is just me. People don't look at the fact of this is the perfect time to celebrate LeBron, especially when he retires. Like this is like okay, yeah, we're not gonna see him hooping again, competitively. But this is the perfect time to celebrate him. Like that's the part that people have to you gotta your people are looking at this shit from one standpoint. If they just kind of take a step back, you're like, yo, LeBron had a fucking hell of a career.
hell of a ride, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, hey, let's go on and ride this shit out to the sunset and celebrate our guy as he goes on his way out. He got two sons to carry his legacy in
Yeah.
in basketball. Let although I definitely hate it for them because everybody's gonna be trying to compare them to him. We don't need to do that. Let them boys create their own careers. But as far as for LeBron, hey, celebrate him. Celebrate LeBron. It's time. It's time. The one thing that we can do as basketball fans is celebrate him. That's it.
Uh, yeah, man. And we only talk about this shot because that could be this year. If they don't come to an extension, I highly doubt LeBron suits up for another team. This is what his third team in total. He
Yep.
made Cleveland legendary. Miami was already a pretty good franchise, but obviously he increased the prestige absolutely. And he ends his career playing for one of the most, if not the most legendary franchise in the history of the National Basketball Association. So, yeah, man, sucks. But that's when dudes like Victor Wembanyama and all them come into the
And
fray.
that's
So
the other part too.
it just
You
keeps
got the
on
few. You
going,
got the few.
man.
Yeah, it's a cycle. It's an
Just keeps
ongoing
on
cycle.
going, boy. For real. But we'll see how it goes. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Keep an eye on the free agent trackers. I'm still gonna keep an update on those every time we come back on Thursday. Gonna always update y'all if we can't go due to some scheduling mishaps, things of that nature. Also, our boy Garrett Brown had some technical difficulties. His laptop was dying, y'all. That's why he started to lag a little bit right there, unfortunately. But y'all already know how it goes when you're doing these shows for sure. That's it from me, Wiley. Unless you got anything else, it might be our longest
That's
show
it,
ever.
man.
I enjoyed every
Hey,
minute of
I
it.
hey,
Um,
we kind of owed y'all this. I'm not gonna lie. So I
mm,
don't mind doing. I did not mind doing this 2 hour
I agree.
episode because again last week we missed because of me. I was moving. Um,
You're good,
so
man.
and we knew it was a lot to cover. So we do apologize for this long episode, but also this episode was kind of needed. So
Of
we just
course.
appreciate everybody that pulled up to watch. We appreciate everybody that pulls up to listen. So we thank you
Mm,
so much as
mm.
always.
God bless y'all. Have a good night and enjoy some summer league. It's the only basketball going on right now. No college, no
You
nothing.
alive? Fucking enjoy the WNBA. Shit.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
don't do
shit.
that. Don't
I
do
mean,
that.
I mean like men's basketball, of course, but of course I watch W. Of course, watch W most definitely.
Right. And
From
pull up to the best damn W show.
support the dream.
We rocking. We rocking over there.
Course, support the dream most definitely. Want to give a shout out to Lee Rue of the Dallas Wings. She's having a great
Shout
year
out.
this year
Oh yeah.
after getting traded from the Storm she was playing for. So
Yep.
really
Yep.
happy for Lee Rue. She's having a great year most definitely. Really proud of her and her story. Just really like her story from her personality.
Yeah.
And yeah, y'all have a great night. God bless y'all. Y'all have a great weekend as well. And thank y'all again for watching most definitely.
One band, one sound. They gave me my theme music.